Most rebrands focus on the surface, things like a new look, new habits, new routine. The real transformation actually comes from changing your identity first. If you're anything like me, you probably have a list. Wake up at 6 a.m., work out 5 times a week, save money, eat healthy, be consistent, all of these things that you think that you need to do to become that person. I actually get it because I did the same thing for years. I had the lists, I had the plans, and I had all of the motivation in the world, but nothing stuck and I couldn't figure out why until I realized something. I was trying to do the actions of a completely different person without becoming that person first. I was still me with all of my old patterns, my old identity, and my old way of being, just trying to force myself to act different. And that's actually so exhausting, and that's why it never works. So I came across this exercise in the Atomic Habits workbook that made everything click. It's called Your Ideal Identity. And the question it asks is simple, but it's powerful. Who do you hope to be? Not what do you want to achieve, not what goals do you have, who do you hope to be? And then what does that person do? What habits support that identity? Just think about that as we keep going through this. I went through a major rebrand in my life, and I remember the moment it literally clicked for me. I was in England for my 33rd birthday in the most beautiful cabin in the British countryside at Soho Farmhouse. But I was feeling so down and so sad about my life. I realized that I had spent most of the year scrolling and watching everyone else live their life while mine stayed the same. I was the side character in my own story, and I remember sitting there in the cabin with the phone in my hand deciding who I wanted to be. Am I ready to let this version of me go? Soon after that, I deactivated my social media, and I've been offline of TikTok and Instagram for the past year now. I rebranded my life to become the main character. But here's the thing, changing your identity alone isn't enough. Okay, so I want you to do something right now. Look around your space, look at your phone, and ask yourself, does this environment make me feel like the person I'm becoming? Because here's the thing, when you're rebranding yourself, your environment has to change too. When you change your environment, you make it easier to be that new version of yourself. You're not relying on willpower anymore. You're creating a space that naturally supports who you're becoming now. For me, this just wasn't about my physical space. It was about the people around me. I realized I was constantly being reminded of who I didn't want to be anymore. The habits, the behaviors, the energy, it kept me feeling like really small and really stuck. So I had to make a choice, and here's what nobody wants to hear. Some people in your life right now, they're not coming with you to the next level, and that's okay. You don't have to cut them off or make it dramatic. You just need to reposition yourself. Start bringing new people and new opportunities into your orbit, and as you elevate, everything that doesn't match will just naturally fall away. So I want to read you this quote in the book, The Mountain Is You, that literally changed my life, that I think could really help you in your rebrand. She says, your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost you relationship and friends. It's going to cost you being liked and understood. It doesn't matter. The people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. You're going to build a new comfort zone around the things that actually move you forward. Instead of being liked, you're going to be loved. And instead of being understood, you're going to be seen. All you're going to lose is what was meant for a person you no longer are. When I read that, it stopped me literally in my tracks because it's true. And I know it's not easy because rebrands come with letting go. And your environment is constantly shaping you, whether you realize it or not. I want you to actually think about this right now. Who are the five people that you text the most? Do they reflect who you're trying to become, or do they represent who you've been? Are they growing? Are they building? Are they supporting your transformation in your rebrand? Or are they keeping you comfortable, keeping you small, keeping you stuck? Because the people around you matter. Your environment either supports your new identity or it pulls you back. So when you're designing your environment for this rebrand, think about it like this. What would that version of you space look like? What would be on her phone? Who would be in her inner circle? And then start making your environment look like that. Remove what doesn't serve you and add what does. Your environment should make being your new identity the easiest choice. So here's what you can do. Pick one thing, your phone, your room, your social circle, your morning routine, and redesign it for the person you're becoming. Bring something in new that supports your rebrand. This might be controversial, but the missing piece that makes rebrands actually stick is keeping your rebrand private. I know it's tempting. You're excited, you want to share it, you want accountability, but this is where most rebrands die. Imagine you're like a seed underground. You need time to grow your roots before you you break through the surface. But when you announce it too early, here's what happens. You get validation for the idea of changing instead of actually changing. Your brain gets that dopamine hit from people saying, yes, queen, you've got this. And it tricks you into thinking that you've already done the thing that you said that you've done, but you haven't done it yet. And when you tell people what you're doing, you're inviting their energy into your transformation. And some people will project their own limitations onto you. Like, oh, I tried that, it didn't work. Or are you sure? Because that's unrealistic. Like, even the most well-meaning people can plant seeds of doubt because they're speaking from their reality, not yours. That seed that you planted, it's like people walking all over your garden before anything has even had the chance to grow. Trust me, because I've learned this the hard way. A few years ago, I was going through a career rebrand and I was stepping into a completely new chapter, and I was so excited, like genuinely so excited about it. I started telling people that wasn't good because the doubt started to come in. People had so many questions and I didn't have the answers to any of them. Like, are you sure about this? What's your backup plan? That's a really competitive field. All of the energy and the doubts and all of the questions, it really got in my head. I wasn't excited anymore. I was literally second guessing everything and my motivation died, and I had almost quit before I even started. That's when I realized I gave it away too early. I was so busy explaining myself to everyone else that I actually stopped doing the work. Here's what I learned. The less you talk about it, the more energy you have to actually do it. Words are energy. And every time you explain your rebrand to somebody else and someone else or post about it, you're spending that energy that could be going towards doing it and living it. So keep it private and build it in the dark and let people wonder what is different about you. And when you finally emerge as that new version, they won't need you to explain it. They will see it. So now it's about actually doing this. And start with that question. Who do you hope to be? Get specific. Write it down. Not just I want to be successful. Who is she? What does a successful person do? What does her morning look like? Not just I want to be healthy. What exercises does she do? What time does she wake up? Does she meal prep? Does she go on runs? What does she do? Get very specific when you start answering these questions. Get actionable with it and then put those things in your calendar, in your planner, your Notion, wherever you organize your life, and make them literal commitments, not just ideas floating around. Put an appointment in your calendar. And look, you do not need to have this all figured out right now, but you do need to know what you're committing to today. So you've got the mindset, the identity, the environment change, and you know to keep it private. Now it's time to start acting, living, and thinking like her. And if you want to actually rebrand yourself, you have to let go of who you've been and step into someone new. This does not happen by accident. This is an intentional, conscious choice that you are going to do every day and that you're going to start doing right now. Not next week, not when it feels more comfortable, but right now. And trust me, I know it's hard, but it will be worth it. And something that you can do is reward yourself in your rebrand. Celebrate your little wins because you deserve it. If you watch to the very end of this video, it's because you know you are meant for this rebrand. So I made you the questions and a recap of this video linked in the description below to help guide you through your rebrand. And make sure you're subscribed because you're gonna love my next video. I'll see you next time.